Hello everyone, this is Let's Get Creative podcast today, and today is National Day when we're recording this. Singapore is 54 years old, I think. And anyway, Let's Get Creative is where we share tips and exchange ideas with our guests on our show. So today is sort of like the first episode proper where I invite my friend Joel into the show. And I'm technically recording this on the video too. I'm at my balcony. So, Joel, would like to introduce yourself and your company and how you get started.
Okay, thank you, Yunson. Hi, my name is Joel, and I run an agency that does videos, and we specialize in building video assets for businesses. So we would strategize strategies for them, and it's sort of niche and pretty cool. So that's a brief introduction of what I do.
So, just curious, what are you working on? What's the current project they are working on? And yeah, can you just introduce that part?
Right. The current projects I'm working on right now is servicing local businesses in terms of building one core asset, which we call the video business card. And it's designed as a business tool for businesses to get better results in terms of saving a lot more time, making a lot more money, and building deeper relationships with your audience. So it's kind of how we are using videos to keep businesses alive today.
Oh, so it's like a brief introduction video where they can just introduce themselves without actually explaining through words or through pictures or any graphics. Just focus on the video part, so people understand better. Is it like a 1 minute kind, and where people actually
you
understand
can call it
just
also
by
a brand
watching it?
video. I think some other production houses do call it a brand video because videos are so powerful, right? It's kind of like reality. It's one of the only rare mediums online that you can literally feel as if you are there. And so we have this very, very powerful tool that is largely inaccessible to businesses today. And businesses are the ones that need it the most. I mean, if you think about the education or in terms of creativity, like in the film industry, in film schools, and for example, photographers or videographers, they're not really trained in marketing. They're not trained in sales. They're not really trained to work independently and help businesses. So here we have the most powerful tool, literally, in terms of both branding, marketing, and also automation, which I can get to. And there is a huge divide between the people that can help and also the businesses not understanding how this tool works.
Yeah, so maybe you can introduce a little bit more like how you get started on the company, and how you all blend into
Oh
what
yeah,
you're doing now.
it's been a long journey. I mean, I first started out many years back and kind of stumbled into it actually. I picked up an old camera of my family's. We kind of bought it just for a vacation trip, and we never actually used it ever again. And I picked it up again because it was to do a few close friends a favor of doing a photo shoot for them. And that's kind of how it started, where after the shoot, didn't know what I was doing, didn't even know the settings, and just went on an experiment. And it kind of got to a point where I was doing more and more frequently, and people were saying that, hey, the photos look great and stuff like that. And so it gave me the confidence to try and explore other things. And that's where I stumbled into doing video after photos, actually, because it was a new frontier of challenge for me, because now you're not dealing with static images but moving pictures. And I kind of used that to be able to travel around and also do it as a side hustle. So I stumbled into it after that. Yeah.
Nice. I think every creatives are always like that when holding a camera. I mean, at the start, no one knows what they're doing, trying to figure it out. Then suddenly, just like, oh, actually, there's some sort of like a connection where you actually grew like in terms of skill and actually just explore. That's also how I stumbled upon. But of course, I don't start on a camera. I just started on like phone, then point and shoot, then now DSLR to mirrorless. So it's like a little growing journey. But I feel like everybody is just like on the exploration. Even until now, everybody's just growing and like exploring and not just stay stagnant on what they actually like enjoy, but they still gonna explore more. Okay, so we are done for the introduction part. So usually what I do with like I wanted to do is we'll do like a 10 question rapid fire round where you answer as quickly as possible. So are you ready? Hopefully you can do it in 1 minute.
Okay, sure. I'll try.
Okay, so on the clock, ready, go. First question. What's your go-to order at McDonald's?
My chicken.
Ooh. What's something that you have failed at?
Something I feel that video.
Ooh. Okay, Sony or Canon for photos?
Canon.
What do you wish you had known when you started out?
That you're never done.
Nice. What's your favorite part of a project?
They finish.
Nice, okay. Cat or dog?
Cat.
What are you curious about right now?
How businesses work.
Okay, beautiful location or beautiful couple? Or just beautiful subject?
Beautiful subject in a beautiful location.
Wow, greedy, okay. Favorite song right now?
The one by Billy Ellie. Yeah.
Okay. Best movie ever watched?
Avengers.
Nice, same Marvel. Okay, we are done on that part. Not bad, not bad. Okay, slightly more than a minute, but it's fine. So, okay, now go to the main subject of the day, which is why does video marketing works and what's your take on it
Yeah, yeah.
before I talk about mine? Yeah, so Joel, can you share more about like why do you think video marketing works and maybe I can just like fit in mine later on.
Okay, sure. So I think in order to first understand why video marketing works, we have to first go back into into the medium itself and understanding the power of video and the kind of users it can fulfill. So in terms of from a business standpoint, video can be used to increase cash flow. It's a good money to it can even be the product. So it cannot just only help to market products and increase your conversions, your leads, and all this kind of stuff in marketing, but it can also literally be the product itself as a course online, and you have a lot of coaches and life gurus and other businesses that actually create video products online and are generating income from that. And so it works because it's a good tool to impact people. You can feel as if you are speaking to a person one-on-one, and also repeat the video as many times as you want before you move on. So it really allows you to get understanding, and also not and even better than real time, because now you get to go back and revisit some ideas. The next thing is obviously automating time.
Nice.
So videos capture reality and put it on a digital medium. And this digital medium doesn't play by the same rules as the real world. It's not constrained by geography. It's not constrained by time. It's not constrained by the amount of people that can share the same space at the same time. And so if you look at that, then if you're asking like, how can I share moments with people? And how can I be authentic? And how can I communicate to someone who is watching that is going to impact them in some way? So I think understanding the the potential that video can do for whatever you want to do is really, really important. Because I think that we have been sort of mystified by Hollywood, in the sense that we feel that making great movies, making great videos and films are something that only those bigger productions can do.
Nice. Yeah, it's actually true. Actually, the last part that you mentioned actually true because we know the craft, or like maybe we are in this like field. So when people trying to explain some concept, they will think that, oh, maybe we need like 10 cameras, or like like a certain number of like equipments to actually
Mm,
achieve certain results, but not so though, because people that don't know how to do will think there is magic. People that know how to do is like the magician. So people
mm,
usually will think that they have to pay more because they have to do certain things, but because we
mm,
do know the skill, but because production agencies jack up their price due to like manpower, actually it's more of the logistics side that they will get paid more,
mm,
and technically it's not their profit. So for a smaller agency, we usually charge
mm,
lesser, or for me, like a freelancer, I usually charge lesser than, of course, the more competitive like marketing agencies. Also because I know directly how to get the result, but of course I have to do more work because it's split
mm,
between myself and not like to a group of creative people or a group of like technical people. And because I've been doing like a one man show for a while, so I have to do from audio
mm,
guy to the video guy to the director to even the producer's work. I mean, big productions still have like first AC and like all the other runners that run the show. So technically,
mm,
this is why the pricing thing is quite a sensitive issue lah.
yeah.
Because we will never try to
Mm,
go to a price war with other vendors, because it's a lose-lose situation. But back to video marketing and why it works, right? Since you have been talking about that field, that area where you focus on like the psychology part, like how it actually works, I would want to go to the social aspect, because everybody uses IG and Facebook nowadays, right? And how we consume all this content
yeah.
is actually like 80-90% are videos already. Photos are like you actually just swipe up, and unless it's really like
Yeah.
captivating,
Yeah.
you actually attract you. But now like even IGTV comes out, Facebook comes out, like video live call, all this are actually start to like shifting towards the video side. And YouTube is also starting to gain ground, like in terms of like video
Mm,
content. And because it's all interconnected, Google bought over like the YouTube field. So when you actually video market yourself on like Google and the SEO part, right, the YouTube videos actually pop in. So it's kind of like a synergy. So if you actually like market yourself in
mm,
that field, it will be easy for clients or like couples to actually find you out online, because the first few things will pop out actually YouTube videos. So I think for the social media
mm,
aspect, I feel like it actually works, because if you narrow it down, right, this is like how people consume the content lah. So be it you are like B2B or B2C, everybody needs video. It's just that uh, they are afraid of doing it because it feels hard. So this is why where we come in to kind of like simplify the process. It's actually quite easy. It's just that uh, the client needs to uh, know what they want, so that we can guide them as like a Sherpa onto the mountain lah. Yeah, this is how I technically feel about video marketing.
yeah. Yeah. In fact, you brought up many interesting and insightful points, especially about the social aspect of video. I just read a statistic, an article that was released like this year, but it contains some old statistics where I think by next year there is 1 million minutes of
Oh,
video every second
oh, see,
passing through the internet, which is insane if you think about it. And almost I think 80% of consumer web traffic on the internet will be video by next year. So it's kind of scary that you may have an awesome product or service in person, but now our attention has shifted online and in the digital realm. And if you're not there, then you're in the wrong place. And it's going to be a huge, serious problem down the line, especially in the coming few years. In fact, actually, I was just at the Digital Silk Road conference in Singapore at Suntec City, I think a couple of weeks back, where they invited, Chinese businesses and also Singapore businesses like, IBM and UOB and other corporations to come down to the conference to talk about digitalization. And it is a big, big shift. I mean, in terms of how these companies are gearing up to transition. And I think that this knowledge is not easily known to smaller businesses. And so that's a big problem. Even if, for example, you are a professional, let's say, for example, you are doing direct sales. There are thousands of other people doing the same technical job as you. So how would you then stand out in a digital world? And I think video is the best way to do that because especially now in today's era where our attention span has reduced from 10 minutes in the past to less than 8 seconds, which is the attention span of a goldfish.
Yes.
So we have literally less attention than a goldfish. And also that there is a lot of distrust and skepticism on the internet, especially, I mean, due to, some frauds and some like fake gurus here and there who are selling products or things that don't work, and people get burned. So there's a lot of distrust on the internet. All the more you need to communicate that authenticity through video. I think that's the thing that is going to differentiate businesses in terms of that human touch coming down the line. Whether it is you are a personal brand, like a business that you run on your own can be also the fact that you are a service professional, or you can be owning a small flower shop, a brick and mortar store.
Yeah, it's true. Because I think small businesses, technically they will think that video is like one of the last things they should do, but they would rather focus on like other aspect of the business. Not saying that they're wrong, but I feel like they could slowly shift their time into doing videos. Of course, not hiring like a huge chunk of people. Technically, they can do themselves, but of course, the quality might not be as good, and of course, there's not much creative idea.
And that brings me back to the earlier point that you mentioned about the bigger production agencies and why the rates that they charge are so different. I mean, the way I think about it is more like they are servicing a different segment of the market. So if you're a small business, I mean, if you take it from their perspective, some of them are reluctant to hire video professionals because it's really expensive to get a whole team, especially if they don't have that cash flow or that volume of revenue to afford it. And I think the larger agencies usually work with larger corporations. Also because, when you have more people, you're more reliable. It's not like you fall sick one day and then the freelancer can't attend, their $30,000 event the next day or something. And so I think kind of like what people are paying production houses for, the larger ones, the more established ones, is that reliability there. But I think where freelancers can come in, especially smaller ones, or if you're just looking for a side hustle, you have a skill set, you have a hobby and passion, and you think you're good at what you do, a good way to enter the market and actually get work would be to actually help those smaller businesses who actually need it more.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I myself is not like playing the big players, but how I usually do is like I really write into the different cafes through Instagram though. I mean, the hashtags are really helpful. We just write to them and like they will actually like I mean, of course, you will or will not get a response lah. But it does. There are a few that brings me back and like are interested in exploring, because some clients don't even know that there is such way to market themselves until you kind of tell them that, oh, I do video marketing for who and like in the past. Then I just tell them, oh, if they are interested in video marketing, then to them that suddenly there's a spark in their brain. Is like, oh, actually I can do that. Then because they're educated, just that small sentence that you can do video marketing yourself, they actually like snap themselves out from it and say, oh, actually I can do that. And then they will try to, actually they will be interested to find out more, rather than being like hard salesy lah. But it's kind of like educating, like just giving a piece of message like, oh, video marketing actually works. Then show them your portfolio. Then once they get interested, they actually like want to do more, instead of like, oh, do you want to do video marketing? Because to them, they don't understand, so they will kind of steer away. But if you kind of like give them examples that the similar field or other companies are doing it, then by educating them, then they will themselves should decide, and they will be more committed, rather than you just straight away go with like, oh, I do videos, do you want to do videos? Then of course they will kind of like squeal away lah. That's all my personal take.
Yeah, I mean, I think that also on a wider point, especially let's say if you have videos on YouTube, right? I think largely the videos you see on YouTube are not salesy. They're not even almost like marketing per se. They're really more of branding, because I think people go on YouTube sort of like going on Google. You Google search for information, and so they're not really looking to buy. Like if I Google something on YouTube, it would be to find out information about something. And so I think that's where businesses, if they're doing it on their own, or if they have staff, it's really, really easy to create content, because the people who are actually viewing your content are kind of there for your content, rather than the production quality of it per se. I mean, it helps in the delivery of the message, but if you can't afford it, it's much better to at least have a video than no video at all.
Yeah, at least believe in the process rather than being skeptical and not doing anything, because companies does find success through videos, big brands or regardless big brands or small brands. If you kind of like, if you can like go and find like Adidas or any other big brands, you can see sometimes they don't even sell the shoe, they sell the lifestyle, they sell the experience. They don't really put the shoe or whatever items that they're selling like very obviously. They actually let you experience their lifestyle. So actually you would think like, oh, why they want to spend the money to do like, or just a lifestyle video or a lifestyle shoot. But because humans need visualization, be it photos or videos. So if you have a video to kind of like sell the experience and not just sell the price or whatever, which is what a lot of people are doing, they just like to sell the feature and the pricing, which it does work, but only for a while. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter, because end of the day they can't visualize. So a shoe is just a shoe. But if you sell with the experience, then people can visualize it, people will want to buy it. I think that's a more like layman way to how actually video marketing actually works lah.
Yeah, and the thing is that the medium itself is such a beast, right? I mean, it builds relational equity, as what we call it, with your audience. So it builds massive trust, because they can see it for themselves. They will now know you, and after they know you for a while, they've seen a couple of your videos, and you're consistent, and you always deliver good value. They will start to like you, and then it gets to a point where they may start to trust you, and then that's where they may enter the consideration phase of wanting to purchase something from you. So when you build up enough relational equity, that's where maybe you can withdraw it once in a while. But that's how you get the fan base, actually.
I think we going to burst the time limit, but we will just jump to the really, really good content for all of us though. I think we should do another second episode, because I think we ran out of time. So we will go to the last segment, which is 3 of your photos that we will actually kind of like dig down your creative process, like how you capture the shot, how you take, why you frame like this. Because it's always nice to have like creators share
Let me,
their
yeah,
thoughts through.
let me pull out my photos, the three of them.
Yeah, I think the first
Okay,
one you
sure.
gave me is a sunset photo. Okay, for those that, okay, for everyone that's watching, for the video one maybe I can show, but for people that listen to through audio, I'll just describe the first photo. It's a beautiful sunset. You have purple and orange with carrot light colors at the back. It's a sunset with okay, the foreground is a boat that is floating, and in between there is like a river, and I think it's going close to dawn, and apparently it's King's Landing. Ooh, oh, this photo is nice. So, Joel, could you explain like how you or why you want to take this shot and like why you want to frame it this way?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this shot was taken when I was traveling in Croatia, in Dubrovnik. So if you are a Game of Thrones fan, you would know where Dubrovnik is because it's where they shot the King's Landing set. And I was at the port, the docks area, roughly around sunset. And the sky is surreal because I think it's something about the region there where the sky is red in color at sunset and it streaks across the sky. So to be honest, I picked this shot because there were a lot of other people trying to take photos from that spot. So I kind of walked by and realized that this was a good shot to take. And the way, yeah. So
it doesn't feel like
one
there's
of
a lot of
those
people
ways
though.
is actually that sometimes if you're more adventurous or if you're more vocal or confident, you can just discuss with the group of crowds there, like, hey, can we all take turns to take a photo so that it looks nicer for all of us, and we can reference all of each other.
Okay. So okay, maybe we jump to the second one because I think the first one you give like quite good tips with like how you take photos, but actually I have one more tip to share for those that likes to take photos or even videos. It's where a popular spot is, right? Try to find somewhere that's around there but away from the crowd. Then you may or may not, depending on luck lah, may or may not, you actually may find some spot that's even better. Because you never know that, I mean, it's a creative thing, it's a creative choice. Of course, you can still try to take when there's no people at a good spot. But if you do find like there's overcrowding, find somewhere that is maybe a little bit further away from there and try to find an angle. Then maybe you can find like a good spot.
Yeah, in fact, this photo was taken because of that. So I stepped away from the crowd, maybe about 10 meters away, and I noticed that there was this one single boat that was close to me. Okay? And so when I framed it up in the camera, I noticed that you can see a leading line down the center of the photo to the other boat in the middle, and then to the docks.
Perfect.
So that was how I framed the composition of it.
And you have tree texture.
Yeah, so if you look at the original photo, right, it's actually dark.
Perfectly.
So you can't actually see the boat at all because I didn't want to overexpose the sky because the sky is the hardest thing to recover. So we would match the exposure to the sky and keep everything dark because it's easier to brighten it than to darken.
Yeah, nice. Okay, now the second photo. When the second photo is the church, I think. It's like what's that show called? It feels like it's in, I forget what is it called.
Lord of the Rings.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like Lord of the Ring, and it's a church, and it feels like Switzerland though. There's like Swiss mountain at the back. Then the foreground is the leading line, the pathway all the way to the town. And the blue sky and white clouds. It's like the perfect wallpaper. So could you like share a little bit more like why this photo is taken? Or how do you feel when you're taking this photo?
Yeah, so when I was there, this photo is taken in Italy. So it's about 3 hours north of Venice. It's very, very near one of the most Instagram places on earth, which is called Lago di Brias. Lago di Brias is a lake. It's a very, very beautiful lake in Italy. And so when I was there, I wanted to capture the whole depth of the place, because I think one tip that for photographers who are already shooting, as well as people who are starting out and just using their mobile phones, photos are very 2D. So you want to create depth and almost make it like 3D like. So one way to do it is to capture the sense of depth, especially if you are doing landscape. And so one way is the way I framed it was to try and use the roads, and how the roads, if you look at the bottom of the photo, the roads are wider, but as it gets to the center, they are smaller and narrower. So it gives that visual impression of how far the thing is actually. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice that you break it down like that. I mean, because photo is just not just. I think that's the beauty of like taking photos. You can only have one shot to express how it will be like. Unlike videos, there is like a lot of frames for you to kind of like change. But photo, you can't make that mistake. And I mean, of course, digital you can still delete and take again. But some photographers, they very garang. They go straight to film. Now, of course, film have its own vibe and texture that photographers like lah. But you only have like 30 shots or something, then that's the beauty of it, and also the scary part about it, that you may or may not want to try. But I'm not a photographer, so. But of course, the whole logic, like how you frame shots, videos and photos, is about the same. So learning the basics, apply it, and if you can or if you want, you can break it if you want. But provided you know how it actually like goes lah.
Yeah, I would say speed over perfection, because actually the background behind this photo is cropped.
Oh.
So on the left side of the photo, there is actually a bench. So I think something to note is not only to consider what is in the photo, but what to take out and leave out.
Ooh.
Because white space is important. So it creates the emphasis on the church. Like if I have the bench there, it's going to distract away from the main thing I want to tell, which is the church.
True.
Yeah,
very
but if
well,
you're traveling
very
and you don't have time, what I usually suggest is to shoot wider. So just take everything in first and then crop it later.
Oh, wow, not bad I didn't know that trick. I usually just spam whatever shot that I can, provided I have time. Okay, so the last photo. Ooh, okay, I know where this is already. Don't even need to go. It's in Singapore. The reflective surface. Ooh, the water is nice. Okay, basically it's our city landscape. The buildings in the CBD area. And it's across the bridge. I forgot what's the bridge name. But there's the Merlion at the side of the photo. Wow, the reflection of the buildings on the river is really good. Literally like copy paste the color and bounce back off. So could you share a little bit more?
Sure. I shot this start of this year at the New Year countdown. So it was just after the fireworks, where everybody was getting ready to leave.
Okay.
And so I decided to take a long exposure shot. Now I think long exposure is something that people have a lot of difficulties with, and I just like to give this very, very useful principle that you can use to essentially get your long exposure shot right in the first try.
Oh, how does it work?
Can you cut that out? Sorry. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So The way you go about doing it is,
yeah.
long exposure shots take about like easily 30 seconds or 50 seconds or however long it is, depending on whether you're using a neutral density filter or not. But usually people take a shot, they wait for 30 seconds, and then they check. And then they realize, oh no, I have to tweak a setting. And then they do it again, and then wait another 30 seconds, and another 30, and another 30. Now the shortcut way of going about changing your settings before you actually do the real shot is to set your ISO in your camera settings to 6400 instead of 100. Yeah, so it's called the 64 to 1 rule. So
why? Why is so specific?
So when you set your ISO to 6400 and your shutter speed to 1 second, then you change your aperture however let me take it back. So you set your ISO to 6400. Your aperture is typically on the smaller apertures because you want to take in all the way from the whole background to the foreground in a long exposure shot. Usually you want to capture everything. So what happens is your in-camera settings would tell you, okay, are you slightly underexposed or overexposed, right? And so you change your shutter speed accordingly. That number there will be the same number. So, so 6400 ISO on a shutter speed of 1/64. I'll have to check that again. It's the same as an ISO 100 at 1 second. Yeah, there's a formula. You should go online and Google it.
Okay.
I forgot the actual ratio, but it's a very easy way.
Okay. So there's like a formula lah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, but okay. It's quite okay. That lah. The 6400 with 1/64 sounds like a legit one because I don't even know that there's such rule. Okay, so we come to the end of our podcast.
You're welcome.
Also because my recorder is like I don't even know how many bar. It feels like it's like 0 point something bar. There's no bar at all. So thank you so much, Joel, for sharing your thoughts. I believe we will have another session because it feels like it's not enough. And we will catch up with you soon. Hopefully, when you're free, we can like start on another project or something or another podcast.
Sure. It's a pleasure to chat with you. And happy National Day.
Oh yeah, happy National Day, I forgot. Anyway, what's next for you like in August? Because I know you're very busy.
I think what's next right now for me would be to look for more businesses who are looking to scale and expand their business, and they think that video is a good tool or solution to do that. And so I'm really looking out more for such businesses to make a bigger impact.
So, if anyone wants to follow you, where should they like look up for your content?
So you can go to my website. It's called tapeyourtime.com. So tapeyourtime.com. So that's my website, and you can find out everything you need to know about me there. I also have a blog on that website where I would write up free articles, and it essentially is all free. Resources on how to use video, why video is useful, what kind of videos you need, and also linking some of the interesting things I come across that I find would be useful for someone who is just starting out.